Hello, folks, and good morning. Welcome to today's info session on the pilot program for the Tourism Research Program. My name is Matthew Ozuna, and I am the Destination Development Manager here at SWT. I will be doing most of the talking today, but Mike Moe is on the line as well. In addition to Marissa Petrovich, they work in destination development, and Mike is Director of Strategic Partnerships and Tourism Development. So they will come on at the end of the webinar to help with Q&A. If you have any questions, save most of those for the end of the webinar. You can use that in the Q&A function, but feel free to say hello. Let us know where you're zooming in from today. Let us know if you have any other comments or quick questions. You can drop those into the chat throughout the duration of the webinar. Marissa will kind of monitor the chat. She might pause and kind of bring those to my attention if we need to answer those in the moment. But we'll go ahead and get started. I think this will wrap up, within 30 minutes today. We'll have plenty of time for questions afterwards, and we really want to make sure you folks understand this new program. Here's the agenda today. We'll give you a brief overview of the Tourism Research Program, costs and timelines, which might be a surprise to you because we're going to open applications today. We'll talk about survey types. We'll also talk about research proposals and the review process, the phases attributed to this program. And like I said, we have plenty of time for Q&A at the end of the webinar. Oops. So the Tourism Research Program is a pilot program. It's also free, but it's really to help with capacity building at the local level with research and data and projects specifically tailored to surveys. We're hoping that this program and the insights and the data that come from it can help you in further destination development planning and maybe even with some grant applications. But again, we really want to focus on two types of surveys for this research project. Resident sentiment and visitor surveys. Resident sentiment and visitor surveys. And these surveys will have to take place online. So we'll kind of talk about that in just a little bit. Again, free technical assistance from State of Washington Tourism. You get me, Marissa, you get some project management for the duration of the program. We'll break that down in a series of phases in just a little bit. That doesn't mean State of Washington Tourism is doing all the work. We're looking to collaborate with local partners. We'll be working on research goals and survey questions and making sure this research and this data kind of complement your long-term plannings and set you up for grant applications and things like that. I will stress that the local partner will be responsible for the promotion and distribution of the survey. So you folks are really the boots on the ground that will get these surveys out, whether it's among a local population of residents or a focus on visitors in your destination. So you're going to be doing most of the work in that aspect of the tourism research program. Again, I mentioned that these surveys will take place online. State of Washington Tourism has a subscription to SurveyMonkey. So we didn't want to transfer any stress or cost onto you having to subscribe to a survey platform and doing that work. State of Washington Tourism will do that with SurveyMonkey. If you have SurveyMonkey account too, great. I mean, if you want to do it on your account, we can talk about that as well. But as of right now, State of Washington Tourism has volunteered to do that and take that in-house. SWT will oversee the data collection and analysis. So again, that's with the survey platform like SurveyMonkey. We'll kind of see all that data come in. We'll make sure it's clean and we'll crunch the numbers afterwards. We'll organize and present all of this information to our local partners in the form of a presentation and summary report at the end of the program. Program costs and timeline. Like I said, this is free. Please take advantage of it. We don't want to transfer any costs associated to this program to you. And the timeline, we've moved it up a bit. Instead of a July 1 start, we decided to open applications now. So you have until July 10th to submit a research proposal in the form of an application to State of Washington Tourism for consideration. So I mentioned that this is a free program, but it gives you 40 work hours with SWT staff. And so I'll be kind of working with you on survey design, implementation. I can help you with strategy plans as far as survey distribution and promotion and things like that. We want to make sure that these projects wrap up within 6 months. Some surveys could probably wrap up within 3 months. It just depends on the size and scope. I would think if we go about a resident sentiment survey, we'll probably want to do that. We'll take a little bit more time to make sure that survey is out in the population really knows about it, and you get a good turnout. We can focus on visitor survey right now during peak season, so that could probably be a quicker timetable for a project like that. I want to make sure folks know who can apply for this program. Like our other grant programs, this is focused on government and nonprofits. Sorry, we can't help any for-profit businesses, but nonprofit organizations like a festival or an event might find value in this program, especially serving folks that attend a festival or event. Applicants must identify tourism as an economic driver in their communities. That's been pretty straightforward throughout SWT's programs and grant applications. So we're really looking to see how this program can help you with and support your visitor economy specifically. And tourism stakeholders are encouraged to meet with me and also to make sure other tourism stakeholders are on board with this project. So I mentioned in the application a few letters of support will only help your chances with this program. So now let's talk about the two types of surveys the tourism research program will focus on. Resident sentiment, which will probably take more time, that entire 40 hours, and will probably take more time just in terms of project management, making sure that we kind of test all of our questions, make sure we do a pilot survey, and make sure we do a really good job with promotion and distribution. But 40 hours with State of Washington tourism staff. It includes review of the project, survey design, implementation, data collection and analysis, and making sure that we kind of set up a window to survey people in the right amount of time. And like I said in the earlier slide, a summary report and presentation, and then all of the raw data you'll keep as well in case you want to use that for further planning and grant applications. But remember, the promotion and distribution of this survey will rest with local partners. Visitor survey, like I said, this will, depending on the size and scope, these surveys I think could happen in a shorter amount of time. Follows the same pattern of consultation as with resident sentiment. You have the same deliverables essentially, and we're looking to kind of work with local partners, especially tourism partners, businesses on things like this. Again, promotion and distribution will rest with local partners. The research proposal and review process, this follows a similar pattern as former applications, grant programs. We're looking at community benefit, leadership capacity, and project readiness. Community benefit, does this support the community and the industry? We want to really see that in your application. How will you use this information on other projects or on other grant applications? Leadership capacity, again, because a lot of this will happen virtually, we're really looking for a strong commitment from our local partners, someone that's going to be the boots on the ground, that's really going to lead this locally, especially if it's a resident sentiment survey, really kind of being out in the community, making sure everyone knows about this, and really getting a good survey response. I mean, it's really deflating when you put a survey out there and you only get like 50 responses, and it's just like, oh boy, we can't really use the data for anything with that many responses. Or if the survey's skewed to one segment of the population. So that's why we really want to kind of diversify who gets access to these surveys and make sure that we have a robust response. But so we're really looking for a strong partner in survey design, implementation, but also promotion and distribution. And project readiness, again, does the community really want this? Is it ready for this? Is there a distribution or promotion plan? And how does it connect to other plans and long-term goals? These are the research phases, and I'm going to kind of talk about each as they relate to State of Washington tourism and our local partners. Again, we're doing this in collaboration with local partners, so it's not all State of Washington tourism. We're really going to have to lean on some of our local partners, especially on distribution and promotion. But the assessment phase, and roughly, I have another slide that will kind of break these down a little neater in a chart. But the assessment phase is going to probably last, anywhere from 30 days, maybe a little bit more, maybe a little less. But this will kind of help help us with our planning meetings, making sure we have a project team. Now, you might ask, why do we need a project team for surveys like this? Well, if you really want to focus on a resident sentiment survey, you might want to include local officials, I mean, city officials, government folks, and other community members. If you're focused on a visitor survey and maybe your destination focuses on outdoor recreation and you really want to get at a problem for recreational opportunities in your area, then you might want to include land managers as part of this project team to help with survey design, help with the questions, and also help with the promotion and distribution. So that's where the stakeholders come in. Could also include hoteliers and restaurateurs if it has to do with lodging and food options. So that's the purpose of the stakeholders, and also to help with promotion and distribution. We'll also clarify the purpose of your research, and we'll focus on research questions and goals and things like that. And again, we're looking at how this program and how this research and data will set you up for more grant applications and destination planning. The implementation phase, design, the launch of a questionnaire, but really before we actually do a public launch, we want to field a test survey. So that's the pilot, field a pilot survey. We'll do that with a smaller sample size and just to kind of figure out what worked well, what didn't, how we can adjust our questionnaire to really make sure folks understand the questions and answer all of them in the right way. Conduct outreach and promotion. Again, that's the responsibility of our local partners. Data verification and metrics tracking. A lot of that will be on me, State of Washington Tourism, as the data is coming in to monitor that. The insights phase, a lot will be on State of Washington Tourism, analyze, organize, and present the data, again, in the form of a report and a presentation. But then also kind of sitting down with the project team and the local applicant, the lead on this project, to really finding new insights on recreation or accommodation. Maybe we find, even though this is focused, a visitor survey was focused on outdoor rec, we find some insights on accessibility and outdoor recreation. So connecting with the project team and our lead applicant on new ways to apply this research and data will only help you. And that phase of the end of the program, I'm really looking forward to. Oops. Here's that nice timetable of an example of a project that would kind of roughly follow a month or two for each phase. I mentioned that we will open up applications now, and the application period will close on July 10th. We'll make the award announcement on the 30th, but we'll most likely contact the selected destinations a few days in advance and make sure everything is lined up before the announcement. We'll start the assessment phase in August. That might also go into September, depending on the size and scope of the project, of the specific survey. So if we're focusing on a resident sentiment survey, we probably want to do that, maybe launch the survey in the fall. So we'll take all of August and September to plan for it. But if you're focused on a visitor survey, excuse me, and you really want to focus on capturing research and data during peak season or what's left of it, maybe we'll try to kind of speed that up and make sure that survey goes out in late August or the first half of September. The implementation phase, again, September, October. The insights phase, when we kind of data analysis and insights, all of that will probably be October, November, with a summary report and presentation in early November. If everything goes right, this program, a new cycle of the tourism research program, will probably come out sometime in the fall. And so for another quarter, I'm kind of thinking maybe these program cycles will kind of go according to each quarter, but for larger projects, they could occupy two, so up to 6 months. I think that's it. That went pretty quickly. I hope I didn't go too quickly, but now I'll open it up for questions. Mike and Marissa, I'll let you come back on. And I wasn't sure if there was any comments or questions in the chat, or if folks have already used the Q&A.
I didn't see any in the chat, Matt, and I didn't see any in the Q&A yet. So
Cool. Okay.
You're obviously very succinct.
Yes. So. Okay, Lisa, I see a question from you. Do destinations use this to track international arrivals? Um, I mean, yeah, if you're doing a visitor survey, we'd have a question to kind of with all surveys, really. We have a section for demographics, where you're from, what did you do? So yeah, we probably capture some information on international tourists. Um, Fall application. Well, we'll kind of talk about that next cycle once we get through this one. But this could kind of this program could align with each quarter. And we'll probably let folks know about the fall application, maybe in the October newsletter.
We'll see how we're going with the pilot program. Nate Parr asks, what are some of the most successful promotional tours that DMOs have used to distribute a survey?
Platforms, you mean? Or did you say tours?
They said tour, yeah, platforms or
Platforms,
ways, I think, the DMOs can tools.
tools, tools. Yes, SurveyMonkey is the one that's on the top of my head. Really helps
Promotional.
promotional. Well, yes, that's a good question. Mike, and Marissa, I was going to wait to see if anyone would bring this up. Promotions, yeah, you can kind of get this out in a newsletter or in the local newspaper or QR codes around town, or to incentivize in participation in a survey, especially, well, it could be visitor or resident. You can have prizes. Maybe you have tourism stakeholders donate a free stay at a resort or a free tour to get people excited and to fulfill the survey too. I
Another way
will.
you can do it is if you have partners who are willing to give like maybe a discount or a free beverage or
Okay,
something when if somebody does a survey and you get a little QR code that gives you a promotion somewhere, then you can avoid some of the rules around sweepstakes and things like that.
there you go. Yep. Good point, Mike. And also, folks, too, um, I think the length of the survey is also important. So that's why it's so critical to really focus in on what exactly you want to solve or what issue you want to explore. You don't need a survey that takes, 10, 15 minutes. No one really wants to do that. The quicker you can get folks in and out of the survey platform, the better. So that's why survey design is so important.
Jennifer asks, can you clarify what the applications will be judged on in your selection process and how many organizations will be selected? You didn't go over that part.
How many organizations? Well, I mean, this is a pilot program. We've talked about it here at State of Washington Tourism internally. We're thinking maybe two per cycle.
Two.
Two.
Two is the answer. Yeah.
Two is the answer. Two is the answer. In the application, and I'll pull up my slide deck again. I'll share my screen. We can go over, let's see here. Sure.
And while you're doing that, Kayleen, I'll answer your question. We'll be doing a fall one as well. And like Matthew said, this will be more of a ongoing. We'll be opening this on an ongoing basis, and we'll let you know, as this first cycle goes through, we'll let you know when the second cycle opens up. But we know it's a tight timeline, but we wanted to give people a chance if they want to get summer um, data, give them that ability. So we wanted to kind of move it up a bit.
So the three main areas that our review committee will be looking at is community benefit, leadership capacity, and project readiness, excuse me. And these are written responses in the application. They're really kind of based off these questions here. You'll have to explain the need for tourism research, how this tourism research will benefit the industry and community. Talk about who's in charge, who's going to kind of partner with State of Washington Tourism on these projects, what resources, what time that person or office, organization can devote to this project. And does this organization have a track record of kind of working with the community, with the industry, things like that? Project readiness too. Is there enough support? Are businesses behind this? Do you have a list of visitors that subscribe to a newsletter, or do you have something to kind of go off of to help with the promotion and distribution of these surveys? So those are all those questions you'll have to answer in the application.
Um, Rosalind asks, can you do a combo survey, or do you have to choose between resident or visitor survey? We have needs for both.
Good question. Mike, we talked about this a little earlier. If you have a need for both, we'd recommend that you do two separate applications, one that's visitor focused and the other that's resident.
And somebody used the actual Q&A thing. Ronnie, good job. Uh, would we need to use our own email databases, or would there be access to additional leads?
I would think your own. State of Washington Tourism, we don't, well, I mean, we do have, uh, yeah, but
No.
yeah, our contacts are all over the state. But if you really want to focus on your destination, it would probably be contacts that you kind of generate.
Yeah, and you can also, I would also work with your partners and see if they have, email databases, and really try to. You want the broadest base of respondents possible to get the best data. Nate asks, if we have an email list, could we use SWT's Survey Monkey to send the survey email?
Survey, yes, I mean, yes, we will. State of Washington Tourism has a subscription through SurveyMonkey. Yes, we can work from our platform.
All right. I think that, oh, wait, there's another Q&A. Nope, we answered that one. We are a nonprofit to create an outdoor refrigerated NHL hockey rink. This survey could be very helpful. Are we a good fit? Um, Holly, go ahead and send in an application. I think you could be a good fit for that for sure. And Marilyn, we will be sending out the slides to everybody who registered.
Excellent, folks. again, feel free to contact me. We can have a conversation, make sure this is the right program at the right time for your community. If not, I mean, maybe you wait for the fall, or I mean, this we plan to kind of play with this program into 2027. So there is time, but no need to rush and do something that you're not fully comfortable with, or your community's not behind, or your other tourism stakeholders aren't behind either. So plenty of things to think about between now and the holidays coming up. But I'm around. Feel free.
He froze, but he was saying he's around and he's available for questions. So feel free to email him. Marissa will put our emails into the chat. Sorry, Matt, you froze there, so I finished your sentence.
Oh, thank you. My internet's a little unstable up here now.
Thank you, everybody.
See you, folks.
Hope you all have a good day. And Matt will send out a follow-up email with all the information you need.